Own your brand. My point is this. So I said, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to own my brand or someone else will. And I tell people this all the time. Logo Tournament rocks. They will help you with for $1,000. Our job is to shake hands, kiss babies, remind them of you. So I had a guy, a competitor. He said, Chuck, you know, everybody thinks you're a freaking idiot wearing that dumbass jacket. Those shoes are stupid. Everybody's talking about you. Everybody thinks you're an idiot. And I said, what'd you say? I said, can you repeat exactly word for word? He's like, what the hell are you talking about? I said, everybody's what? And he still didn't get it. I said, let me explain it to you. Everybody's talking about me. Guess who they're not talking about? And here I go. Mic drop. Everybody's talking about me. They're not talking about you. I don't care if they think I'm stupid. They're going to remember me. The job is to remember me.
Today's episode is brought to you by one of our show partners, UpFrog.
UpFrog is the OG when it comes to pricing transparency online. They find system replacement leads through paid ads and have developed an entire system to drive those hard-to-find system replacement opportunities, nurture the leads, and book them into sold systems before your team arrives to help you grow your business.
Hey, I'm Krista with MarketStorm, and we work with home service companies across the country. Quick question. If another HVAC or plumbing company in your area starts influencing homeowners before they ever hit Google, who gets the first call? By the time someone searches plumber near me, they've already been researching the problem. We use AI to detect those early intent signals and put your brand in front of them. So when they do search, your name already feels familiar. Visit marketstorm.ai or text us at 213-575-5448.
Hello, everyone out there in podcast world. Hope you're having a wonderful day. You're listening to or watching the Service Business Mastery podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tersh Blissett, sitting virtually next to my co-host, Joshua Crouch. And we have the world famous Chuck Worley on the show today. Famous radio announcer. He's got a voice for radio.
I have a face for radio too.
That's true. I wasn't going to say that, but so we're going to talk about networking today. Fun fact, for anybody who's listening to the podcast and's been listening for a while, or maybe you haven't been listening to us pre-COVID, but I was the president of a small business chamber in Savannah. I was on the executive board for Leukemia Lymphoma Society, the Buy Local Savannah, Georgia Police K-9 Foundation. I helped them out a little bit. But networking is how we grew Service Emperor. That was our marketing budget, was networking. And so I'm excited to talk to Chuck today and get his story and share his story with you and talk a little bit about networking, because we're talking tons and tons and tons about AI and Google this and Google that. And Josh, if you ever let him start talking, he'll talk all about some digital marketing. So do our best to not let him talk today.
No, this topic actually, Tersh and Chuck have known each other for a little bit, but I ran into him at Jen McKee's event back in March.
I had no idea.
A few months ago, somewhere.
It was Alaska ago.
Yeah, I don't even remember. And he was on a panel and he was talking about networking and getting on the ground, shaking hands. And I'm just like, man, this is refreshing. I haven't heard nobody talks about this anymore, because it's like, send it on Google. I literally just made a post today because all these contractors are using AI to throw these slop ads on their Facebook pages that are just there's a ton of stuff going on. It's it's terrible. You don't even know what they do or what they offer. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, we're eroding trust every single time we do this. I listen to AI voice calls all the time. And literally I was listening to one 2 weekends ago for a company that gets a lot of LSA calls. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, God, this user experience is awful. The AI voice asks a question that you could hear them, but it was really quiet through the phone. So the AI didn't hear it. So asked again. And it was really, I'm like, this is a bad user experience. You can feel that sentiment from the customer just dipping big time on the phone. That
you know what it reminds me of, Josh? It reminds me of, you go sit down at a restaurant and they don't give you a menu and they just say, scan that QR code.
I hate that. That's
exactly what it feels like.
You know what's funny?
Number one, because I forget my glasses half the time, so I can't read it anything. So.
I am pretty sure. I don't know if it was a couple of months ago. I was talking to Brittany about this because another restaurant, we're sitting. I'm like, man, can you just give me a menu? I have to do this. And then of course, if you check a text message on your phone, you got to go scan the QR code again and get the menu. I'm like, damn it.
100%.
So yeah, totally agree. I understand it's cheaper and maybe more efficient and it's cleaner and all that stuff. But I'm like, at what cost? So that's why we have Chuck on here today, because
Old people have
talk
rights.
really-
Old people have rights too. We have rights. Old people have rights. Give me my damn menu.
Dude, there's two things from COVID that I wish would just stop. QR code menus, and then when they ended 24-hour stores being open 24 hours. Like half the towns you drive through right now, 10, 11 o'clock at night, oh, Walmart's closed. Like, since when? Well, COVID.
Well,
And they
Tersh,
never open back up.
us older people might go to bed a little earlier than 10 or 11. I usually go to bed by 9.
Yeah.
That's a good
So I
point.
wouldn't know if stores are open 24 hours because I go to bed very early. Yeah,
Well, they're open
True.
at 6 a.m. when you wake up.
that's true. That's true. So, but Chuck, for those that don't know anything about you, could you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. My name is Chuck Worley. I own Worley's Home Services here in I say Hampton Roads, Virginia. If you don't know where that is, it's between Virginia Beach and Williamsburg, which are two pretty transit. Most people know, especially with the military, those two areas. Williamsburg's kind of retirement town, and Virginia Beach is very active. Dam Neck and Norfolk, Virginia is right there. That's actually where I grew up at in the 80s.
90s.
So yeah,
Nice.
you're young. I have socks that old. So yeah, it's a cool little town. Been here since I was in 6th grade. My dad was some people know what the CBs are in the Navy. My dad was in the Navy battalion, construction battalion. So my joke is I've been using a hammer since I was 10, ducking one since I was 11. If you've had a chief in your life, you know what I'm talking about, right? So he was a tough old fart. He just turned 80 about a month ago. But
Oh, nice.
but yeah, he's so we kind of grew up here. I was born in Port Hueneme, California. San Diego, I've been everywhere. And by the time I was in 6th grade, kind of telling some of my stories, by the time I was in 6th grade, I'd failed 3rd grade because I was dyslexic, failed 6th grade. My first year here in Norfolk, Virginia at St. Pius, the Catholic church or Catholic school. Ended up going to Norfolk Catholic high school. But my mom in 6th grade, I failed 6th grade, and we had been in 5 schools by the time I was in 6th grade.
Because of military?
Because of military, right? So we're traveling all over the place. So my mom is like, honey, you could go anywhere you want. Guam, Diego Garcia, Scotland. He went all these cool places. She's like, me and my babies, we're going to be here because my son's going to be 22 by the time he graduates from high school. So we're not going anywhere. Like you can do whatever we'll be right here when you get back. And so anyway, that's what he did. So every 3 to 6 months he was gone, deployed. And so we stayed here, ended up graduating here, and had a rough time in school, man. When I was growing up, obviously dyslexia wasn't it wasn't a boost in my schooling, but ADHD, I was on Ritalin. I mean, it just, school was not my magic. I knew very early in life that I was not going to outsmart people, but I will outgrind everybody in the room. And it's my secret to success. I was a state champ in wrestling, track, cross country. I was very successful in sports. I was an Eagle Scout. Like, I was junior achievement.
Nice.
Junior achievement, vice president, company of the year in 1986. So like, really good at everything outside of school. Like, I just sucked at school. I had a 960 SAT. I was just bored there, right? A 1.9 GPA. Like, I barely graduated from high school. In fact, my senior year, my English teacher pulls me aside and he says, look, all you got to do is get a 70 and you graduate. Just a 70 and the final exam. I come back, dude, I got a 62. He pulls me in the office. And he goes, I hate what you are making me do today. And I was like, okay, this is going to be bad, right? So
Yeah.
he goes, I'm curving the final grade because I'm not putting up with your ass next year. And I'm like, are you really graduating?
Wait for you to get out.
Oh, dude, this was like the week before graduation. I'm like, I don't know. Nobody knows. My mom doesn't know. My dad nobody knows if I'm graduating. But by the grace of God, he graduated me, and I graduated. So of course, what do you do after you go to school? Like, All my friends are going to college. Well, all my friends are going to college. So I'm like, all right, so I'm working already. I mean, I was paper route. I mean, I made money delivering papers. I had lawn mowing. Like I did everything to make money. I was always doing something, making money. I knew I was going to be self-employed because I've always worked for myself all the way back to I was 12 delivering papers, And so anyway, I go to Norfolk State University. It's a HBU, Historical Black University or college, and it's right here. So I kind of joke, I got the minority grant, and because I couldn't get in anywhere else, right? So nobody wanted me. So they're like, "Oh yeah, come on over here, white boy." So we go in. I get in, and of course, what do? I fail out because I mean, I'm not a bright guy. So anyway, I get into my coach, my wrestling coach grabs me by the neck. I mean, I'm screwing up. I'm failing out of school. I'm working, 80 hours a week, just working restaurants. I'm just working, trying to make money, trying to figure life out. And he goes, dude, you need to get into the apprentice school at Newport News Shipyard. And I'm like, what the hell is Newport News? What do I do? I don't know how to build ships. He goes, that's why they call it the apprentice school. They teach you to build ships. So anyway, my trade is HVAC. I don't ask for HVAC. I just get it. And I'm like the 9th or 10th. Now, of course, welding is like the first apprenticeship, right? So like heating and air it's not even 10 years old as an apprenticeship. And I, by the grace of God, got into the apprentice school in HVAC. I graduate barely. I graduate with a 1.2 GPA. But
hey, they don't put your grades on your diploma.
They don't. Yeah. What do they call the guy that graduated last at Harvard doctorate school? They call him Doctor too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got out of the apprentice school. I'm working at the shipyard, and I realized that they put me on second shift. My son is already like 7, 8 years old, and he's a phenom in sports. He's going Division I in something, right? So I'm not missing. Like second shift sucks. So they put me on second shift. I said, I quit. And they're like, you're not quitting. I'm like, I'm not losing my kid and his, taking care of my, going to sporting events. So I end up quitting the shipyard without a job. So I get a job. I'm making like $10 an hour. I'm working 80 hours a week. I started out at $6.24 an hour, but I raised up to $10 an hour. And by the time I get out, I go to work for a small residential company. I realized this. My dad taught me really early: character, integrity, do the right thing, or you get some of that, right?
Yeah.
I was more fearful.
Those that are
of my mama.
listening, he was referring to his elbow.
Yeah, the elbow drop, like the elbow to the jaw. And I was more afraid of my mom than my dad. So like she pulled out that Eddie Murphy flip-flop in a minute, right? So I get into the apprentice school. I graduate, I go to work for this company, and I realize character, integrity, doing the right thing. There's drugs everywhere, like on job sites. Like it's insane. Like,
oh yeah,
coke. There's like marijuana is just on the job. Like, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't be around this. I got 2 kids. So I'm on my way to a job site, and the guy busts a bowl out when we're driving to the job site. I refer back to state champion wrestling. I informed him that 2 things were going to happen. Somebody was going to get hurt, and somebody's going to let me out of this truck, right? Like, so he drives me back to the shop. I said, man, I can't do this. And I quit and went to work for another company, and same thing, drugs everywhere. I'm like, I just want to work in a clean environment that I can focus on my job. So anyway, long story short, I go to work for a guy. He hires me as a salesperson. I don't know anything. I go and interview with him, and he goes, so I come in a tie and jacket. How many of y'all have interviewed somebody in a tie and jacket for a service tech job? No, none, never, right?
I can't recall anyone that's done like a polo shirt that was tucked in was good.
Yeah, that's solid.
Hell, wearing a shirt. If they were
wearing a shirt with sleeves,
right? Yeah, with sleeves. Like, God, he's wearing pants. This is great. So anyway, I go in with a tie and jacket, and the guy goes, "Are you going to fix heat pumps like that?" I said, "Oh, no. I'm going to take my tie off first."
Tersh would have said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's
Right.
go.
So I'm gonna take my tie off first. And he goes, bro, you have missed your call and you need to be in sales. And I said, problem is Eagle Scout, character, integrity. I can't sell. I can't screw people. I'd worked in car sales for 60 days and it ruined me. I said, I
Same.
could
Here.
never do this. So
Mhm.
I goes, look, if I hire you and you do a good job, I mean, you sell a job and the lady thanks you for selling the job and they had a good experience and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was sales. He goes, yeah, that's sales. So anyway, they hire me within 2 years, my second year in full-time sales, I sold $1 million. Now, that's not
Nice.
impressive today.
I mean, yeah.
That's
If that's
impressive.
if you're in California, let's be real. If you're in California, that's like 10 systems.
Yeah.
So
Right. No, exactly. But this is 1996. Selling $1 million in 1996.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's nobody selling that in 1996.
hopefully someone
Now,
listening that's really good at inflation can tell us what that is in today's dollars.
I mean, it's got to be 3-4 million, right? It's
Yeah.
got to be
Oh,
3.
yeah. Yeah.
Let's say, and just being humble, say 2.5, 3. Like it's not.
I would say 3. I
I think 3 million is probably a good number. So,
Yeah, I think
but
so,
yeah,
too.
so I go to work in sales, and I go from $10 an hour to $125,000 in 12 months.
Yeah.
It
That's what I'm talking
affected.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I tell people the trades changed my life, the trades changed my life, and then sales changed my life, and then owning my own business changed my life. Like,
Six figures back then. Like that.
bro, in 1996,
That was the dream back in the 90s and even early 2000s was to make 6 figures at any
Dude,
job.
I remember I was making $25 an hour and I was like, oh, this is it right
Killing it.
here.
Killing it.
I'm killing it.
yeah, killing it. You know, it's. I tell people, yeah, making 125 grand in 1996, 97. That's a little bit more than that today.
I could have gotten in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I was married with 2 kids, so I didn't get in any trouble.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
probably
I
good
was a
that you
good
were.
boy.
Yeah.
I was a
yeah,
good
yeah.
Catholic boy. Good Catholic.
Yeah, that's good.
boy.
That's good.
So
So
Chuck,
long
with-
story
with-
short, I open up my own company. I go to work
Yeah.
for these companies. I can't find somebody, character integrity guys. The only people that can afford me are guys that have 5, 6 salesmen. And unfortunately, they don't care. They just want money, right? So I opened up my own company. Literally, I go buy a van. I don't have a master's license. I don't even know I need a master's license. Like I have an apprenticeship, but not a master's license, right? So I get all that worked out. But within 6 months, I go from I'd go to work and then I'd buy a handshake deal of an old company. And literally in 12 months, I'm doing like $811,000. The guy was doing like 200. I was doing 200. I just needed opportunities. And I took that company to 800,000 in 12 months and grew it to a couple $1 million. Long story short, my ex-wife, who led me to Christ, gave me 2 perfect kids, and at 50s decided that being married was not what she wanted. She didn't want me. So I go through an awful divorce, 4 years to get divorced. So I have this $2 million business. I'm not killing it. I mean, I'm making money, like I'm supporting ministries, like things are going great. And then I get kicked in the, sack. So I end up having a friend of mine come to me and say, hey, look, man, I'll buy your company for $1. And I tell people, look, going back to my schooling, I'm not good at math, but I can do math. Like I'm not good at it, but I can do math, right? So I'm like, so how do you figure buying my $2 million business for $1? He's like, well, then you can get your divorce and you take $1 and I'll pay the debt off. And then he doesn't pay the debt off.
No. All of that stuff that you built up.
So I
value,
hand
your
him over $100,000 in assets to pay back the $500,000 of debt. So I go from an 803 Beacon score to 450 in 12 months.
Ouch. Yep.
Yeah. So back to, I'm 260 pounds at the time, former retired state champ in wrestling. This guy's $180. Every time he walks in the room, the hair on the back of my neck goes up and I realize somebody's going to jail today and somebody's going to the hospital today. So I'll let you all figure out how that was going to work out. But
Yeah.
I'm too pretty to go to prison. I'm just too pretty. I'm a big guy, but I'm
Yeah.
not a big guy in prison, right? So I realized I got to get away from this guy or bad things are going to happen, right? So I go away from him. He doesn't pay any of the bills. I go bankrupt within 6, 7, 8 months. I finally do get through the divorce. I go bankrupt a couple months after that. So this is all the way back in 2015. And I'm a wreck. Dude, I'm living in an RV with no heat. I got one of those little box heaters. And
Yeah.
you can't heat up a RV with a box heater. So like
Ain't no insulation in that thing.
oh my God, dude. It was horrible. So I'm like living in my office. I mean, it is a nightmare. Dude, I'm scrapping metal to eat. Like it is bad. So in 2015, I'm in bankruptcy court. I'm sobbing like a 3-year-old. I mean, I am broken. I am broken, man. And I'm looking, and it's the first time that I ever had, like, God has never talked to me except for this one time when I was in bankruptcy court. And he said, Chuck, we got this.
Me
Like,
and the
I'm
mouse
like-
in my pocket.
I'm like, who the hell are you talking to? Like, I'm like, you got to be talking to this dude back here that is bankrupt 3 times. Like, you got to got him. Like, he goes, I'm telling you, it's the only time I've ever heard like verbal.
Yeah.
We got this. And I'm like, we got what? I'm living in an RV with no heat. Like I can't afford propane. Like this is crazy. And I will tell you, from that point on, I knew I was going to pay back every single person that I bankrupted on. And I did.
Yeah, I like
$500,000
that.
of debt. But I did the Dave Ramsey debt snowball, pay everybody back, because you only, what's Warren Buffett say? 40 years to create a great reputation, 40 minutes to lose it all. And
100%.
you could say I don't like Chuck Worley, his stupid jacket and stupid shoes and his stupid orange and green Pumas, and I don't like it. You can say that, but you can't say he's a scumbag and didn't pay me back. And people hear stuff, right? People hear stuff, right? So I've told the story a lot, but I mean, people know. I mean, when you write a check back to Superior Equipment for $73,000 to the president, hand deliver it to him, people talk. People know about it. One of the reasons I've been so successful is I've done in 2016 with a handshake, 6 months after I went bankrupt, I got trusted me with this $300,000 business. 10-year-old company doing $300,000 a year. Handshake. I got no money. I mean, nobody's loaning me money.
Yeah.
Nobody who's loaning me. I mean, Tersh, you like me and you're not loaning me money, and I got money. So I mean, you ain't good at it, right? But back then, you're
I'll
never
buy you
loaning
lunch.
me money, right? So I probably didn't know you money because I didn't know you back then, right? So it was great. So anyway, handshake agreement. Of course, we signed a contract, but it's really he's trusting my handshake because I just went bankrupt 6 months ago, right? So I end up I said, look, I'll give you $100,000 for a $300,000 business, which we all know is not the right number, right?
Right.
But I said, if you give me that payment plan of 120 payments, I'll make sure I never miss a payment. He said, dude, that's 10 years. I said, you might as well ask for $1 million. I just went bankrupt on a $500,000. Like, it might as well be $1 billion, right? So he does it. We agree to it. I pay him off in 4.5 years. I pay him off in less than 5. So, but I never wanted to worry about payroll or paying him, right? I'm okay with not being paid, but my guys are going to be paid. So we fired the 3 guys that are working for him within months, redo the whole company, character and integrity, doing the right thing. I pulled back my old 2001. I had 10 commandments of an employee. I got honor God with your hands, the work done by your hands. Be the most respected and sought after company by both customers and employees. My vision statement from 2001, we re-emphasized it. We made it better. My son is 22 years old, and he's the one that actually talked me into opening or buying this other company because I was broken. He goes, Dad, buy another company, start over. I'm like, I didn't give him the middle finger, but that's what I was thinking. I'm like,
Probably what you were thinking.
lost. I was 100% thinking. I'm like, you lost your mind. Like, what are you talking about? I got enough headaches. I'm just gonna go work for somebody else, make a couple $100,000 a year. I'm not. Yeah, I don't need that. He goes, let's do it together. Well, my son's my best friend, and he's 22 years old. He's a sophomore at Christopher Newport University. He actually went Division I in lacrosse, broke his back, 6 surgeries on his legs. Like the dude just, I mean, high school just wore him out, but anyway, he ended up going Division I and then transferring back to Christopher Newport University in Newport News, right here in my backyard. And from his dorm room, when I bought this $300,000 company, I sold $1.1 million, installed $1.1 million in 12 months. So we tripled, almost quadrupled the size of that company in 12 months. My son, the next year, his senior year at CNU, he was running a $1.75 million HVAC company from his dorm room through Service Titan in his dorm room. Like 3 o'clock in the morning doing payroll on Wednesday night. Like, he's a freaking
He's got some
animal.
skin in the game, that's for sure.
He's an
Changes when you have that. That's absolutely awesome.
But he's great at everything. Like, we use the EOS system. I was visionary. I'm not doing any practical operation stuff at all. He is everything that I'm not. He's the yin to my yang. And so basically I'd go sell it. I was under 5-10 houses a day, man. I was running like, dude, I was working like just unbelievable amount, 80 hours a week. Now, of course, he's going to school carrying 18 to 21 credits per semester and doing payroll Wednesday night at 3 a.m. and playing lacrosse. Like, the dude's a monster, right? So I give my ex-wife brains credit. He did not get the brains from me, but got the brains from her and the drive from me and the grind from me and the never give up from me and the, just he's an amazing kid. So
hello, home service professionals. Do you want to maximize your marketing budget? Then you need to be using call tracking from CallRail. Let's say you noticed a spike in new leads this month. To find out what's driving them, you just log into your CallRail dashboard. Is my new Facebook ad outperforming my other ads? Or is paid search knocking it out of the park? Or maybe it's time to retire those newspaper ads. Since CallRail assigns a unique phone number to each of my marketing efforts, I know where my best leads come from and which efforts to scrap. CallRail shows you your most cost-effective marketing channels so you can get back to business. Go to callrail.com/SBMpod and try it for free.
Quick question. How many calls did you miss last month? Not how many you answered, how many did you miss? Across the home services industry, about 30% of inbound calls go unanswered. And those aren't just tire kickers, those are customers ready to give their business to whoever books first. Breezy fixes that with AI agents that answer every call, they book the jobs for you, and they follow up instantly. So instead of waking up to missed calls, wake up to book jobs. If you want to see how many jobs you're losing right now, go to getbreezyapp.com, use code SBM, and they'll give you $500 towards Breezy on us. Now back to the episode. What does the company look like today? So we go through this story. What does it look like today? And then I want to start talking about your shift into focusing on relationships and why that's been so important to you.
Perfect. So we basically take the company from 300,000 to 1.1 million. 2 years later, through COVID, we're at 4.1. 2 years later, we're at 6.6. No, excuse me, 4.1 to 10.2. And dude, it was like $1 million a month in growth. Now, I did 20 small acquisitions, $150,000 companies, $500,000 companies. Because of my reputation of paying back my debt, people trust me. Owner financed all of them.
Yeah. So for those, I remember you talking about this on the panel. Were those things that you went to them? Did they come to you? How do you source things like that? Because there's always, though, these small companies that haven't really gotten off the ground. They don't have a digital footprint.
And private equity doesn't want to.
Right. And they're too small that private equity is just going to gloss over them. But they have customer lists who are very loyal because, I want Frank out. I want, whatever that is. But then that person hands that, it's almost like a simulated handshake of trust to you because they say, hey, I trust Chuck and his team to take care of you. I'm retiring. Here you go.
Yeah, so that's how we did it. And most of them came to me. I called a couple of them. Like I put a post on Facebook, hey, I want a heat and air company. And the first heat and air company I bought in 2017, she literally called me 4 minutes. Like it was less than 5 minutes after the post. She said, I want you to have my company because of reputation. You take like it 30 years of doing the right things and I mean, God has definitely blessed me. I mean, I'm very humbled by what he has done in my life. And it's when you're doing the right things, man, people are watching. Like people are watching. And when they hear me owner financing this stuff, they trust me because I freaking paid back bankruptcy at chapter 7, bro. I didn't owe anybody anything legally, but they know I paid them back. So they trust me with these owner finance deals.
So I know you've grown a ton through networking. How did you even get into the networking? I mean, obviously you like be around people. You like to talk to people. I am an introvert by nature. Like I can stand up on stage. Josh and I've stood up on stage in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. But when it gets to being interpersonal, that's wherever I'm like, I don't really like this situation. Like when I'm on stage, I have a barrier. I had the microphone as a barrier. Whenever it gets real personable, like I like people. I just don't like everybody.
I got the greatest definition. We have a corporate chaplain that works for our company. Josh asked, how big are we now? We're a $17 million company now. In less than 9 years, we got to 17 million. So it's what you are talking about, the greatest definition. My corporate chaplain, he works for us here. He's a pastor at a church, but he comes and invests into our employees. He said, Chuck, the difference between an introvert and an extrovert goes to people for juice. An introvert goes to quiet, personal, by yourself. And I said, that is the best definition ever. Like that's like, I was like, man, you're pretty good at this leadership stuff. He's like, yeah, I kind of been doing it for 30 years, 20 years in church.
And an easy way to think about that is a true introvert, like not half introvert, half extrovert. Like a true introvert wakes up with all the energy they're going to have for the day. And every time you engage with someone, it depletes your energy a little bit. Extrovert, exact opposite.
Exactly.
Every time you engage with somebody, it fills your battery up some more, fills it up some more.
It does. It does. So networking, and obviously I am an extrovert. Obviously I like people and like talking to people. So where I was making the transition when we did the year after my son graduated from college, we went from 1.75 to 3.5 million in 12 months. And how that happened was I was in 5 houses, 10 houses a day, doing happy checks. After the jobs were installed, I was checking every single job. I was involved in every single job, selling it and QA checks afterward, because that's how you get referrals. People like you and you come back and see that they did a good job, So
were you the salesman at that point?
I was the 100%. So that's what I was going to say. We did 3.5. I was 2.5 million of the 3.5.
Okay.
Right? So then we get to the point my son's like, all right, Dad, we want to go to kind of selling techs. And I'm like, oh, hell no. I want those dead compressors. Right. So so anyway, he starts hiring, we start bringing on selling techs so we can pay our guys more. So we go from that to doing more selling techs. So pulls me out of the field. So that's how we're growing from, 3.6 to 6.6 in it was less than 3 years, 2 years. And that pulled me out of sales. So he goes, Dad, I need you focus more on marketing, networking, shaking hands, kissing babies. It's what you do. Because in between these sales calls, I'm going to all these networking events that I can possibly fit in. Now, unless I'm going to pick up a check, I'm going to a networking event, right?
That's a lot.
So
that's a lot on you.
It was. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was a lot. And happy checks, which I created going back and making sure, not every service call, but every installation, I made sure my eyeballs were on it, because that's how we're getting more business, right? Is they're happy with the jobs. So anyway, I'm going to these networking events. My son's like, look, you need to transition more into the marketing and networking. So I'm like, I don't really like second place. I told you, state champ a couple times in high school. So like, I don't like second place. So if I'm going in, I'm going in. So I have a friend of mine actually, I just saw him today, Bert. He hates green, and all I wore was green, right? So he buys me this orange jacket, and it's obnoxious. It is bright. I mean, it is stupid, disgusting orange. Like
That
it
sounds
is
like
bright.
something Tersh would buy me.
Like Dumb
Yes,
and Dumber.
100%. 100% what Tersh would buy you, right? So I go to one networking event, and dude, every head, there's 100 people in this event, 100 heads turned to me.
Works.
And I said, oh, I got something here.
There
ain't an eyeball that's not on me. And I'm not pretty, right? So I'm not pretty. So it's the jacket. So I go buy some Chuck Taylors. I go buy some green and orange Chuck Taylors. I buy the orange. If I got a green jacket, I spent several $1,000s, probably more money than I've ever spent in my entire life on clothes. Orange, green jackets, orange jackets. I mean, look at this shirt my wife bought me for Christmas. It's orange and green. Everything that I wear is orange and green. No Tersh. I'm not showing you my underwear. Just take my advice. So
I wasn't thinking that at
Josh,
all.
He was getting. Josh was getting. You
I
saw
might have asked.
You saw it. Yeah. So my point is this. So I said, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to own my brand, or someone else will. Own your brand. When I come in and I remind people, now, dude, we got over 100, we got a ton of trucks, right? So we got trailers, trucks, wrapped, everything is wrapped. When we didn't wrap our first truck until 2019. And I promise you, because I was co-branding Rick's Heat and Air, the Crawl Space Company, and Hampton Roads Energy, which are all $500,000, $100,000. I was co-branding them because we didn't have a brand. So when we came up with Worley's Home Services, and I tell people this all the time, logo tournament rocks. They will help you with, for $1,000, you get 800 freaking. I mean, they need to sponsor me because I tell everybody about them, right? So it's a really great thing because it shows you all these designs, and that's how I came up with my logo and the orange and green, and but it's killer. So now I remind people. One lady said I hand her my card, and she's like, I get 2 looks. What the hell are you doing? And oh, I get it, right? Because if you get it, you get it. When you guys see me now, y'all are like, all right, there he goes, right? But when you first saw me, you first saw me, you're like, what the hell is he doing? Does he not know? Does he not have a wife? Like, to tell him what to wear? Like, what is he doing? So when I walk up and I introduce people and I hand my card to them, they're like, oh, I get it.
I thought it was St. Patrick's Day over here.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, in March, that's all I get is in St. Patrick's Day. But in March, so when I go to this, I said, look, have you ever seen one of my vans? No, I've never seen one of my vans. The next time I see you, I want you to tell me how many vans you saw today. And they're like, okay. I see them a month later. They're like, bro, are you following me? Like, you're everywhere. Dude, once you show, it's like when you buy a car. I bought a blue Jeep, never seen a blue Jeep before. Then like 3 months later, I'm actually.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
It's such a fascinating thing. That's happened to me so many times. All of a sudden we're looking at something or we're thinking about doing something. All of a sudden I see the thing everywhere. I'm like, I never saw it before. Now it's usually stuff that Brittany sends me. I'm like, I don't want to see this anymore. Especially like desserts and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't want to see this shit anymore.
Yeah, a lady called it imprinting. She called it imprint. You're imprinting right now. And I said, I don't know what that means. She goes, no, you're telling me something that I'm going to keep. And the next time I see you, I'm going to remember all your trucks. And I'm like, I don't care what it's called. It's called branding to me. But you call it imprinting. Whatever it is, just remember my truck. Like,
that's right.
Because our job is to shake hands, kiss babies, get in front of people, remind them of you. So I had a guy, a competitor. He was not a nice guy. So I do like kicking his butt. But he said, Chuck, everybody thinks you're a freaking idiot wearing that dumbass jacket. Those shoes are stupid. Everybody's talking about you. Everybody thinks you're an idiot. And I said, what'd you say?
Everybody's talking about you.
Yeah. I said, can you repeat exactly word for word what you just said? And he's like, what the hell are you talking about? I said, everybody's what? And he still didn't get it. I said, let me explain it to you. Everybody's talking about me. Guess who they're not talking about? And here I go. Mic drop.
Oopsie.
Mic drop. Everybody's talking about me. They're not talking about you. I don't care if they think I'm stupid. It's fine. They're gonna remember me. The job
And your
is to
competitors,
remember me.
what is that? There's like a Michael Phelps meme where the second place guy was like watching him race or something like that, and the whole purpose is like winners focus on winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. And so if they're all sitting there talking about you, they're not focused on themselves either.
100%.
There's that as a side note. Chuck, I'd like to ask you a little bit. 'Cause we're already like almost 40 minutes into this thing.
Sorry, man.
No, you're good. You're totally good.
Minutes,
I just want to make sure we get a couple of the questions and stuff that we want to talk about.
Let's do it.
You mentioned that you go to a lot of networking events. This was actually before we got on. You talking about that. I would love to find, like, how do you source those? Where do you find them?
That's a great question.
Listening to this that want to engage more in the
chamber-
local community because they hate all the search, they hate all the stuff that guys like me do with digital marketing stuff. They want to
100%.
find local people because they feel like this is a really nice add to their entire branding and
And it's
marketing.
cheaper. It's cheaper. You become a couple $100 a year. You become a chamber member. You know, when you're in the Chamber of Commerce, you're going to develop relationships. If you go to we have the Peninsula Chamber of Commerce, Williamsburg Chamber of Commerce, York County Chamber of Commerce. Just look up Chamber of Commerce, go into AI, that crazy stuff, right? What are the closest Chamber of Commerce to my address? Type your address in. What's the closest Chamber of Commerce? They'll all pull up. Let's say there's 5 of them. You go and start developing relationships at those chambers with the people who are on the board, and those guys will recommend you because they want you to come back. They want you to join their group. So look, I'm not sure whether I'm joining this one or another one. They're going to refer you. They're going to make sure, hey, I just met this guy, Chuck. Here's his card. So I would go to online. I got my assistant that does it every month. She pulls up every single event. It's Coffee Connects. It's luncheons. It's lunch and learns. It's pink bag lunch. Well, guess what? That's a woman's thing. I still go to it because there's people there and women buy heat cups, right?
That's right.
So I go there. I do get the crazy look. There's normally 1 or 2 guys there, but I get the crazy look and it's like $5 for lunch. So, you get free lunch, right? It's almost free. But my point is go to their websites, go to networking events, go to BNIs, which is Business Network International. There's 212 groups, which is a networking group here out of Richmond and stuff. I think they're expanding across the country now. So go to networking events. I would type in networking events in your area. Go to them and look up events, Coffee Connects. Now, with me, because our business is, 17 million, I need more than one job. So my job is, if I can go to a networking event with 5 people at a Coffee Connect or 45 people at a Peninsula Chamber event, I'm going to the Peninsula Chamber, right? I'm going to as many events. My full-time job, if you have a marketing person on staff or the owner is doing it, you need to get to every single event and don't just show up. Wear a daggone logoed shirt. You don't have to be crazy like me and wear shoes and jackets and all that stuff. But if you don't have a logo on your shirt, don't go.
Take business cards.
Oh my God, take business cards. And if you hand me one of those stupid dot ones, I'm gonna be irritated. So dude, there's how many
Chuck,
apps
I'm
are
going to
there?
irritate you
How
because
many
guess what I
apps?
got
I
in my
know.
wallet?
I
There's
know.
75 apps, right? So
Yes, you have, and it's a different app every time.
So what I do is I typically Josh, because he's cool and young and IT guy, right? So or digital guy.
I'm just
So
glad
I'll
you called
do
me
it.
young. I don't care about anything else. I'm just glad you called me young. Appreciate
So
it.
I'll tap his thing, right? And then I'll screenshot it and I'll delete the app. So I'll pull his
All day
I'll pull
long,
his
yeah.
info and I'll send the information to my assistant and she will send out all the, I do like an introduction. I started doing video calls. So I'll do like an email video call to them. Hey, it was great meeting you. And I don't use names so I could send it to the 10 business cards that I have. Hey man, it was great meeting you at the pink bag lunch today. I really enjoyed it. If you can ever use my services, call me. I will definitely keep you in mind if I need your services, right? So I'm generic, but I don't have to do it 10 times, right?
That's great. Yeah, guerrilla marketing there.
It's guerrilla marketing. I am grassroots, shaking hands, kissing babies, getting in front of people. It's cheaper than, sorry, Josh. It's cheaper than digital marketing.
Oh,
right?
you're
But you got to have both.
Yeah,
gotta
you
have
do.
both.
You
need
do
a
have to have a
balance.
presence
You have
because
to have
not
both.
everyone's going to find you through those. But like the last HVAC company that I worked at, I ended up going to most of them after I got settled there. But we had a weekly B&I group that we went to, which was really good. We got a ton of referrals from that group, and that company ended up getting bought like 2 or 3 years ago. It was after I had left, but great local presence. And because of this is the thing that I don't think people they don't relate all these things together. The networking helps you in the local Facebook groups, which also are a lot of people searching. Those same people have Google accounts. Those same people have all of these other things that help create this ecosystem where maybe they don't necessarily remember maybe your last name. So they search you and you brand search. And I think you actually share this with me because I know who you're working with on the digital side. And you said that you make his job easy because they search your brand and your name because of that's what they remember, which of course Google and all of these algorithms love when you get brand searches. Like that's why.
Yeah, so we even do, I have a radio show once a week on 790 AM here, our local radio AM station. It's a Ask the Expert show called the 757 House Whisperer. And I've got other companies on there that I network and brand relationship referrals, right? My pest control person doesn't call anybody else. She doesn't tell anybody about anybody else. My roofer, I just sent him $100,000 job that was on my radio show. I'm meeting him and the customer off of a radio of someone that called in and asked questions. I'm not selling. This is not a 20% off show. Call now. No, this is a information-free giving back to your community, helping homeowners have a place to answer questions about problems. I Facebook Live that, right? You think that helps the Anger and the Rose every Wednesday at 6 p.m.? Yeah, they know I'm going to be on there. The YouTubes, the Spotify, downloading all that stuff. All that stuff works together with trying to get this local brand, this local company. Look, you can call the franchises. It's fine. Private equity's got a place in our market. I mean, it is blessing a lot of older guys like us getting out of the market, right? I think there's a place for that. There's also a place for me, a mid-level guy who loves these small companies with great reputations because they don't want to sell to private equity, right? There's a mix of everything. The small one truckers are never going away. The mid guys like me are never going away. The guys I feel sorry for are the $1-2 million guys because they can't afford $40 an hour. I mean, they can't afford $100,000 guys. I mean, it's a brutal middle ground. That's horrible.
Chuck, it's funny as you tell your story with some of these connections and all that, the networking and the referrals and the B&I groups. It really takes me back to at professional services because you don't realize it at the time when you're doing these things. Because like when I had to go to B&I group as an employee, I'm like,
it sucks.
An hour of my life. Like I'm like watching some guy talk about insurance for 45 minutes. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But when you when you understand it, like now as a business owner myself, you understand like how that impacts everything. Like I do a lot of some of the stuff that you talk about, but mine's more digital because we go nationwide. But the value and the helpful stuff, like I don't want people to gloss over the tip you gave. Like you do it on a radio show where you interview roofers and people that don't do what you do. But those things, you don't have to have a radio show to do that. You can just go talk to those people, call them up, see if they want to go for lunch, find a roofer, find a pest control, a landscape. They all have the same customer. And I've shared this before, and I know we've shared it on the show. They have the same customer, and they will refer them for nothing or a very small fee if you guys figure that out that way.
I mean,
I usually do referrals for nothing because I think it's the best way to like keep it
100%.
where it's on
Yeah,
more of like an
because
honor system where like you owe me for it. But
if you get paid for it, they're not going to feel responsible for getting you a heat pump job. Like it's referral sort. Like I said, I'm meeting at one of my customers' houses. I am meeting my roofer there to hand it off. Like he's not calling anybody else. Like this is a personal relationship on a slate roof that's 3 stories high, which he can't just hire anybody anyway, right? But
how did you meet him though?
the
How'd you meet
homeowner,
the roofer?
oh, the roofer, we've been friends for years. He did my wife's daughter, my new wife, that's just got married last year. Her daughter just had a crazy roof, and I called a whole bunch of friends of mine, and I know everybody. I mean, dude, I have 100 contractors. I have relationships with hundreds of contractors. I develop relationships, and B&I taught me that. I have customers. I literally, the roofer I've known for 20 years. My landscape guy, 25 years. I married my wife, who I met in B&I 25 years ago. She was our banker. Do I believe in B&I? Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, if somebody's listening to this and they don't have a strong network like you do, where should they even start looking to meet people like this? I mean, obviously they're networking groups. That's like going to the gym. It's a habit that you have to be very intentional on. I mean, it becomes a habit, but at first it can be pretty painful. You're busy. You're sitting in the office. They have a lunch and learn. Like, man, I'd rather just finish these emails, but you really need to stop what you're doing. You need to go to lunch and learn, and that's where you make your connections.
Here's what I tell you. I am in 3 to 5 referral source places a day, right? At my peak, I mean, 100 people a day was my goal, right? Guess how many roofers, or guess how many heating and air guys I run into? I mean, like in a year.
Probably not very many.
Not a handful. Not
Yeah.
one handful in the last 4 years I've been doing this. Not one handful. So what's that mean when I'm at all these events? Who are they going to think of? The guy
You.
that showed up twice?
The one heating and air guy that shows
The
up.
one guy that's there
Uh-huh.
every single time. Now,
That's
because
crazy.
I see him once a month, because I see him at least once a month, you think I'm going to do a good job? I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
You want to see
I
someone
got
in
to run
person.
into
Yeah.
you again.
I will tell you, it changes you when you see someone in person versus like just email.
That's like
something.
that's like people at church they'll ask me like, "Hey, you work on air conditioning?" No. I gotta see you every
Just
Sunday.
in case we screw up, I don't want you to come back in church.
Well, I
and be
will
like,
tell you
"Hey."
this, you're uncomfortable going to these networking and meetings, right? So I actually spoke at a marketing class at CNU for my son's old college. A marketing guy asked me to come in and speak on branding yourself, branding as a person, and branding as a company. So I go in and I said, look, you guys are scared to death. I could see that. College student going to this networking event, tie and jacket guys, a couple CPAs. Like I could see being 20 years old, scared out of my mind, going to meet. I said, here's why you don't be scared. You walk, see that English, I did fail it. So you walk into the networking event. Now, why are you there? Well, you're there to meet people because the teacher, the instructor, professor was trying to get them used to networking, trying to find a job and networking, and this is how you do it. So you're walking into a meeting. Why are you going there? Well, you're going to network and meet people. What is the meeting called? A networking meeting. So why are you scared to meet the guy that's there at the networking meeting? Why is he there? Let me give you a
To
hint.
do the same thing, to network.
It's networking. He is there. So you just walking up to somebody and saying, hey, look, my name's Josh and I'm a junior at CNU. Oh my God, that guy's going to turn all his attention to you. And why are you here? Man, I'm kind of looking for a job in the next couple of years. Well, what are you looking to do? Man, that 50-year-old guy in a tie and jacket is going to help you try and find a job. Like you're going to get a job before you leave there because he's going to physically walk you to each I would. I'm
Yeah,
like, holy
absolutely.
crap, you got the balls to be here. You got the balls.
I literally
Oh,
so a young lady named Amy Dover, she was my networking mentor. She was that person to me when I first went to my first networking event in Savannah. And she's actually who eventually talked me into being the president of the chamber. And it was very much exactly like you said. Like I went in there, literally, I might not ever meet you again. So I care less. Like,
Right. Yeah.
and I'm gonna practice on you. And I was at first, that's what Amy was like. Just practice on these people. You can tell once you've been networking for a while, you can tell the people who are getting paid to be there, because the moment they can leave, they're out. They grab
100.
their 2 drink tickets. They go to the bar, get them a Bud Light,
Eat the
stand by the
biscuits.
corner,
Yeah. Eat the biscuits.
and they're out.
And they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can figure those people out. But the people who really want to be there, really want to grow their business. But I'll add this caveat to it before we wrap things up. It's also very important that you're not a taker. Like when you go to these events, it's extremely important that you add value as well. And like you can be the connector. Like that's Josh and I have been. I feel like that's our claim to fame, is we're connectors in the industry. When I was networking, that was my thing. Like that's why I was really good at when I went through vice president and president of the chamber, because if somebody said, "Hey, I need this," I'm like, immediately I think of the person that needs it.
100%. 100%.
And those are the people. If you can be that connector, then all of a sudden you're top of mind.
So
You
there's
also have to guard yourself a little bit too, so that you don't get a little bit burnt out, because you feel like everybody's just using you for connections. But
so I call myself the 757 Power Connector because I read a book, The Power Connector. If you haven't read that book, it's a lady that wrote it, Ellen maybe, but it's Power Connector. If you haven't read that book, you have to read that book. It will change your life. And the reason it will change your life is it tells you, I need my 5. I need my 5 people. I need my 10 people. You don't need 100 people. I mean, I have a $17 million business with thousands and thousands. We're in 100 houses a day. I don't need 1,000 customers a day. I mean, we've already got, we built up a pretty big business, right? My point is this: my power connector of 100 people that I'm touching every single week, hopefully, or every single day, hopefully, those 100 people, the relationship that I'm developing with those people. Josh, after me and you shake hands, kiss babies, and we're talking to each other, I know your wife, I met your wife, you're comfortable saying, Chuck will take care of my wife and my kids and my heating and air in my house. He's got you. I have my 150 people that I influence through reputation, through referrals, and I am very much about a referral. I am very much a giver. When I give this $100,000 job to my roofer, that sucker better be sending me some heat pumps next year. He will be purposeful.
That's true.
He will be purposeful in getting me business. I promise you. And that's back to the B&I, right? That's you.
The giver's gain.
Yeah, giver's gain. That's right. That's right. That's where you learned that. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm sorry for running long, man.
Oh, you're good, Chuck.
I
This
knew
was
we were
great.
going to have a good time. I knew we were.
Yeah, we had a lot of good comments and stuff like that. So if anyone wants to, chat about maybe more strategy on this, or learn, some of the ways that you've been able to develop this system for yourself, is there a decent way for them to reach out to you?
Yeah, so chuckworley.com is the best way. I'm actually working on that now. chuckworley.com. I've got it up, but it's I'm working on it every day now. But you could call me at 757-955-9415. Either text me or call me. I'd love to reach out and help. I do have a twice a month, the second Friday and fourth Friday of every month. I have a marketing mastermind called Always Be Branding, where I'm telling people how to do what we talked about today. Networking. What do I need to do? What's next? Because nobody's teaching this. Nobody's teaching it. And I'd love for you guys to jump on if you have a chance. It's on Zoom on the second and fourth Friday at 9:30 a.m. every month. I've got anywhere from 15 to 20 some people on it. And but you can ask any questions. I do hot seats, try and help people figure out how to grow their business, man. And I love it. It's been my new passion project, is helping companies grow their revenue. And it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Well, I appreciate
That's
it, Chuck. This was fantastic. Appreciate you sharing your story.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
If anybody has any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to Chuck.
Absolutely. I love it.
And until we talk again next time, I hope you have a wonderful and safe week. We'll see you.
See
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Service Business Mastery. Now that you are equipped with essential business advice from this impactful conversation, you are one step closer to becoming the successful owner of your dreams. If this episode has been helpful to your business journey, don't forget to subscribe to the show, leave a rating, and share it with other owners as well. Visit servicebusinessmastery.com to learn more.